Here we go. And as always, to avoid legal snags.
I am being recorded.
What is it then? And those legal bloody snags. It's quite funny because instantly just the video quality is just halved.
Because we've just pressed record, it's like gone all fuzzy and it's like we're having a video call in the 90s.
Is this the first call that we've done and you're on fibre optic broadband?
Yes, it is.
Oh, this is a monumental experience.
It's happened, everyone. I've finally upgraded. It no longer takes me 12 hours to upload a video to YouTube. It's 20 minutes. Wow!
Get in. That is the future. Right there. Not garlic bread. Internet broadband.
Somewhat.
I'm just gonna...
People don't even get that reference anymore.
I know. We've got so old. Like, we're old now. Like, people in the office. Well, I tell you, I was down in London with work, and we were going around the table. We went to the pub after, and we were going around the table. Now, typically, podcasters, this is the moment where I'm like, hey, yeah, I'm still young. I'm like the youngest on the team. Nope, middle-aged. I'm middle-aged around the table now. I was like, whoa. I was like, this is bad. Like, this has gone deep. Almost as I'm gonna tan myself up with some extra light there.
Ooh. You could do that with that light, actually.
We're so cool. But yeah, it's been a few weeks. I've been ill, not with coronavirus. I've not been sectioned. I've just been poorly. So welcome back, everybody, to the Mancave Podcast. Yeah!
Woo! We're all back. We're here. We're healthy. We're good to go.
Healthy, a little bit mad, but we're here. So, and we have got a huge topic this evening.
Yep.
It's either, evening, it's either the morning, wherever you're listening to Wherever, Tell you what, weirdly enough, sidetrack, my photography website, weirdly enough, second most visited country, Norway.
Norway?
Loads of you from Norway.
So this is the first episode since you've launched it, right?
Yeah, which is pretty cool. There's like loads of people messaging. It's good. I just need people to pay me now.
Yeah, I've had
people.
Mate, enjoy it. I've got about 4 music pages that have been unpublished for about 3 years, so still waiting to release those bad boys.
Still waiting. Yeah, it's been good. So, so if you enjoy podcasts, if you enjoy making podcasts, if you need some advice, there is lots coming. But we will go into. Sam messaged me going, "Hey, how about this as a topic?" And I was like, yeah. And then I totally forgot about this topic because of said illness. So in the last hour, I've done the utmost respect to the pod. And I've got my Mac. I've read some forums. I've not gone down too much of a rabbit hole. But in today's episode, we are going to go through the world's biggest game.
Yeah.
Probably the world's most anticipated game to come whenever it comes.
No one knows.
Nobody knows.
It's a mystery.
But it is Gran Theft Auto.
Grand Theft Auto 6. We are predicting the potential things that could happen. There's so much to talk about. It's... Oh my god.
So, what we'll do, because I am stat man, I love a stat.
Yeah.
Let's give you some context to why this is the biggest game to probably ever come out. It's because it is following the biggest game to have ever come out in Grand Theft Auto V.
Yeah, exactly. It's still in the top 10. You walk into Sainsbury's, people, Grand Theft Auto. The game actually originally came out on PS3. It's been remastered for PS4, and it's still at the top of the PS4 charts.
This game... So, here's some stats.
Here we go, Stan.
Grand Theft Auto V has sold over 120 million copies. It is only behind games like Minecraft and Tetris.
Oh, sure, that's fair enough.
Minecraft, which is like free a lot of the time now, You can get that on Xbox for free. It's been around on computers for ages, but it's also
Yeah.
like
It's like Tetris. It's a
cheap.
constant now.
Yeah, and Tetris has been out since the 80s.
It's never going to get old.
So you're comparing this is the greatest selling 40-50 pound game of all time.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's...
You compare it to Rockstar's other big IP, Red Dead.
It's true.
Coming in at a strong 30 million copies so far.
That's such a big difference. And I think Red Dead's better.
Oh, it's a huge difference. Yeah, you're talking 4 times as many copies. Now,
that's ridiculous.
I have some theories on why this is.
Okay.
So how did they do it? Well, they did it over 2 console generations.
Yeah, that's true. Well,
cheeky. Yep, came out PS3, then remastered for PS4.
Yep.
Then they got you again, and they went, "Oh yeah, here it is on PC." like 2 years later. So you imagine you're a big GTA fan, and you go, "Right, I bought it on the PS3.
Yep.
Oh, it's out on PS4. Right, I'll go buy it on the PS4. Oh yeah, I've got my gaming PC. Love my gaming PC. Oh, brought it out for that as well. You can mod it." People have bought this game potentially 3 or 4 times.
You should see the PC mods that people do on it. It's ridiculous. They can just do anything with the game. They can literally just do what... I'm not joking. Anything. It's next level. Some of the stuff that I've been watching, hacking and all the rest of it. So it's
amazing. Then what else have they done? Well, they've absolutely smashed it in the online space by creating an open world. No,
it was supposed to be.
Grand Theft Auto Online came out, it was not meant to be what it's turned into at all.
No, it wasn't. It was supposed to be single player DLC, and it was supposed to be the main 3 characters in the game that you can play. And instead, they've gone, "Oh wait, we're onto something here. Let's make it all online." They don't have to make GTA 6. This could go on.
No.
This could just go on forever almost. Like they could
almost port a PC version of online onto the next gen and be done with it.
Yep.
But if they did that, that would make this podcast very boring.
So we're going to predict the next game.
So we're going to come up with some theories. Now, theories are theories until they are spoken on the Mancave podcast. Then they become the truth. So you are listening to the truth right here. It's official. This is going viral. This is going to get us over the 100 sub mark.
We've solved the Mount Chiliad mystery.
We've done it. So, Sam, you've gone down a rabbit hole. What do you... Right, okay.
So podcast listeners.
What we'll do... Let's theorize the story. So, Rockstar have got a formula. There's going to be a single player to this.
Yeah.
Fire away.
There's going to be a single player. Ooh. Last time what they introduced was you had 3 different characters instead of 1 that they've always done. They did want to do it in GTA San Andreas, but there's complications because it was it PS2 still? So...
That was PS2.
Yeah, it was too difficult for them, so they did implement it. I think they're going to do that again. It's kind of like, because there's so many demographics you have to hit. You look at movies now, there's always an Asian person, a black person, a person who's got a different sexual persuasion. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to hit all these benchmarks. There's going to be an Asian guy, probably. I don't have to go into it. You know what I mean? It's not just going to be 3 white guys, or it's kind of be like that. That's what I think. It's going to be still a bunch of different characters. I don't think they're going to do a story where you can create your own, because that's just going to be implemented later in the online. The rumours are they're still not going to London yet, and that's what people have been kind of saying. Oh, where are they going to do it next? They've done everywhere in America. Can we do one in London? They're not doing it. Apparently, what they're going to be doing is kind of like the Liberty City stuff. If you go that far back, they're going to be... It could be wrong. It is a rumor. It's going to be LA, San Francisco, Miami, and you can fly between them all.
Ooh, I like that we have different rumours.
Yeah, so
I've heard, yeah,
location.
I think multi-location definitely seems to be a big theory that people are coming out with, just because of the power of these next games that we're going to get.
2-disc installation.
It's going to be 500 gig of your poor PS5's hard drive. It's going to be like, hey, that sweet SSD you just had? Well, here I am. I've heard that they potentially could go kind of like... they're not going to go into the future, because apparently that doesn't seem to be their sort of style. It's going to potentially go back to like a Vice City sort of, maybe even like a Bad Boys-esque, like 80s, 90s drug cartel sort of vibe.
Yeah,
which I think could be quite interesting, because
it could.
It's almost like it's hitting a bit of nostalgia. Vice City was PS2. So you're talking 15 years between games.
Yeah.
And I think I've seen some people like hack GTA 5 and kind of make it look like that. I think that would be quite cool, because it's taking it back to an era where they're allowed to be...
Yeah, they can say whatever they want.
Yeah, they can get away with it because people got away with it in that era.
This is the modern day. You can't say anything anymore, can you? It's Trump's America, all the rest of it. The world is crazy. Twitter, social media.
Fake news.
You can't say anything anymore. So if they say anything, it's kind of like, well, we don't know what we can and can't say anymore. It's too tricky for them to do modern day until there's kind of like guidelines on social media, which there still really isn't. It's just a free-for-all, isn't it? So,
or are they going to go Rockstar and they're just going to go, we actually don't care.
They've dealt with bad press before, so they've survived it.
We're going to do what we want to do. It's an 18. If you don't like it, buy it. 120 million other people are going to buy it. I think they might actually sway the other way. And I actually think they're going to go back towards the past, where they can be misogynistic. They can be whatever they want to be. It's
all these terrible things. But you look in
all the terrible things that they want to do.
Red Dead Redemption, they get to touch on stuff like the KKK because it's historical, quote marks.
Yeah.
It's in a historical sort of time, so they can get away with it. It's a shame they can't do modern day, because the beauty of GTA was it's an extension of real life. You've got this dad, you've got this kid who's a gamer, and all the modern stuff that comes with it. One thing that I think is a bit of a detractor from going to like the 80s, like you're not going to have smartphones in the game, so it kind of limits it as far as that respect is. But I want to touch on something.
Oh.
So, as I've told Ben, now listen closely, podcast listeners. Last night, I didn't go to... Well, I woke up at 1 a.m. Fell asleep really early. I didn't go to bed till 6 a.m.
Oh.
Because I was scrolling on my phone at all the different theories about the GTA 5 mystery that's been going on for 7 years.
This is incredible.
I did.
What?
Ben,
did you go to work today?
I did.
You did in physical form, but not in spirit.
Hit me yet. I think it's going to hit me tomorrow morning, mate. Literally, I went to sleep early and woke up at 1 a.m. I was like, I'm not going back to sleep. So basically, right, short version, there's been this... If you've seen Ready Player One as a movie, if you're not familiar, GTA is famous for Easter eggs, which are little secrets hidden in the game. Now, these little secrets, basically, sometimes you have to try really hard to find them. It's not part of the main game. You have to look really close and really play the game. And there's a mystery involved in the game. There's a big mountain in LA. You climb to the top of it. There's a UFO. There's all these symbols on the wall. People have been trying to crack this code for 7 years. It's kind of like I say, Ready Player One, if you've seen that movie. And it's the real life version of it. No one's cracked it yet. And there are hundreds of videos of people trying to crack this code because of what it might mean. Now, what I didn't realise was, until about 2 a.m.
4 o'clock in the morning.
It's so cool. It actually goes into Red Dead Redemption 2 as well. All the Easter eggs are now split across the games, all the secrets. So people are finding stuff in Red Dead Redemption that is referencing GTA and vice versa. And it's just...
That is brilliant.
Like, for example, the most recent online thing was, like, there's this heist where they've added a casino into the online of GTA, right?
Yeah.
And there's a slot machine that is, you know, like a Zoltan thing with a mystery ball.
Yeah.
One of those kind of things. But it's this Madame Nazar, right? She's actually a character in Red Dead Online. She's a gypsy woman who travels around, but she's like a woman in like a Zoltan box in the casino. And there's this thing that's the most recent thing they've uncovered is if you put like money in, she comes out with these weird predictions, and there's like 20 of them. But one of them, she gives all these numbers out. If you open up your phone in GTA and you dial these numbers and dial it, she answers the phone and says another cryptic message. Like, it's mind blowing. It's just, who would think to do that?
What? Right. We need to find what Rockstar is smoking on.
It's next level.
Like, who's coming up with this?
I don't know if they're making it.
That's next. And also, who the bloody hell is figuring that out?
Honestly,
I'm amazed at that.
The thing is, though, people are kind of onto it now, so they're looking into every detail of the game. They're looking at every painting on the wall in a building in a game. People will spend whole days of their lives trying to see if they notice a little... like, they'll be looking in the reflections of mirrors to see if it's only in the reflection, if there's a code on the wall. It's absolutely next level. Don't want to go too far into the rabbit hole like I did, like for 6 hours last night. But basically, there's a UFO.
Assassin's Creed 2 is to blame for this.
Yeah, well, there's a UFO that you can unlock at the end of the game. There's a UFO in Red Dead Redemption 2, which is a completely separate game. But there is a side mission in Red Dead Redemption 2, which I didn't realise because I never completed it. And basically, you collect all these inscriptions for this guy, right? You go back to him, and, well, no, you don't go back to him. He writes you a letter in the post office once you've collected them all. He says, "Oh, come back, I'm about to go on my journey." You go back to this guy's house in Red Dead Redemption. Those who don't know, it's like the old Wild West. And you go to this house, and it's this woman with a baby. And the baby is the guy who was like 30 years old. And then she's like, "Oh," and basically, it's just crazy. Just go with it. And he's now the baby. And you're like, okay. And you're talking to her, and he's like, "Oh, so where's this guy?" And she's like, "What, my husband?" He's like, "No, not my husband." And he's like, "Well, that's my kid." And it's like, okay. She leaves the room. You stay in the house. There's these inscriptions on the wall, and it's this tapestry of it's him with all these, like, it's like the Always Sunny in Philadelphia thing with the crosses and, you know, it's like a detective's board, and it's him time traveling all over through like different worlds and stuff. So basically, there's a time travel element going on as well, which I think is what they're saying with the aliens in GTA. And oh my god, it's next level. Does it mean that we can time travel in the next GTA game? Does it mean that we can...
Maybe it's just Doctor Who. Curveball.
Yeah, so
wow,
that
is mad.
Will the mystery finally reveal GTA 6? That's probably what's going to happen, I think.
That would be the coolest release to a game ever. That there's no trailers, but it's just some guy on YouTube who's like, I think I might have worked this out, and he just releases it, and they're like, oh yeah, well done.
Some people think they're trolling. Some people think it's not going to end up being anything. It could continue into the next. It could go on forever. They could continue it in GTA 6, but it's just mind blowing what they're doing, and I think it will. I think they've probably got one more add on for the online, like the heists that they do, and I think that if that doesn't reveal it, then I don't even know. But yeah,
we don't even know what's real anymore.
So
well. That leads me onto the year.
Yep.
So there's a lot of different theories on what year this game might come out. Some people might say this year. Some people are saying next year.
It's PS5 year, isn't it?
Yeah.
Will they do the old trick?
I don't think they'll do what they did last time. I
I
think
don't.
they got away with it. But what game really has... I know they've done a lot of remastered, like Last of Us.
Yeah.
But I don't... I think from what I've seen, what I've heard in terms of a technical boost, I just don't think it makes much sense to make a game on like a PS4 Pro level, or even PS4 to PS4 Pro, to then make a game port down. Like, it seems like it's only going to be a game which is ported to PS5, Xbox Series X sort of levels. What's 8K? I've never even seen 8K.
This next generation stuff, no one even knows, mate.
So apparently there's theories that the next Xbox is going to be able to run at 120 frames a second, which is hilarious because our eyes can't even see that quick. And you'll be able to play multiple games at the same time. It's going to be that powerful.
Well, look, the thing is...
And PS5 is going to be the same. Crazy levels of power.
It's a pencil measuring contest, isn't it, between PS5 and Xbox? They're both trying to outsell each other. It's going to be the PS5 that's going to... I don't know what Xbox are going to do to try and win this next gen battle, but
we shall see. So
I think you're right, though. I think you're right.
The thing that I question with this: do Rockstar go with size, or do they do what I think they should do, which is not make the game as big as America? So some people have just said, yeah, they're going to do all 52 states. They're literally going to make like the world's biggest game. We've seen that in No Man's Sky. It didn't work.
Game within a game within a game.
What I think they'd be better off doing is either doing it in a city again or like a state. So instead of just being like LA, it's actually like California. But then doing it where everything's destructible. Everything is... you can go into every building, or...
They need to do that with this.
Detail within a smaller map. I think if you said, the map is 5 million square feet, it's too big. It's like too large for people to get their heads around. Yeah. I think smaller, more detail.
I agree, because I've been playing... I reinstalled GTA this week, obviously, and it's a big difference going... because obviously Red Dead Redemption has just come out, and you can do everything on Red Dead Redemption. Pretty much every building is open. I know it's the Wild West, so there's not as many buildings on every corner, but to go into GTA, there's literally only a few buildings that you can go into, and it's so disappointing. You can't really interact with the people on the street. On Red Dead Redemption, you can interact with everyone on the street, and I think 1 in 20 people probably leads to a different secret or mission. It's unbelievable. So I agree with what you're saying. More detail. I don't know how they'll do it in like a more modern world than the Wild West, but yeah.
So then, a few places I've heard these rumor sites. So you touched upon it. So we've had London, we've had Tokyo.
Wow.
Which would be
oh my god,
very cool.
Yeah.
Potentially places like Chicago.
Yeah.
Because of its American roots. And then, as I say, some people have just said, yeah, they're just going to do the entire of the United States and kind of do it like the Ubisoft's Crew, and it's like less distance, but between cities. Apparently, London's just going to get stripped off because they've got such a large American audience. And if you said to an American, apologies for most Americans here, but if you said to an American London, they're just going to go, the whole of England? So maybe that might not work. Whereas I think I never really thought about it, but I think Tokyo could be...
Mate, I've not heard that.
That could be.
That would be huge. I think, but the thing is, they need to have a more diverse cast. I know we touched upon it earlier. Like having like an Asian guy or something like that, an Asian American kind of guy who comes from... oh my god, that's just mouthwatering, the thought of that.
And the detail that they could get in something like a city like Tokyo where it's not about, again, size, but about density. That could be cool.
It could.
Who knows?
I mean, I think one of the big things as well is, do you think GTA 5 sales are finally going to go down when this game gets released? Or, it's so big.
Do you know what? I can't see it going down for about 2 years after the release of... Because you've got to think, not everybody is going out day dot, because you physically can't because of hardware limitations, but no one's going to just go out and go, scrap the PS4, I'm going to go get my PS5. You're going to get your early adopters, and then you're still going to get people who are going to go, well, I really want to carry on playing it. And I think that's why it's going to be interesting. I think the sales of the PS5 are going to be high enough anyway that they're going to run out of hardware and they're going to have to keep up with demand. They don't necessarily need a game like Gran Theft Auto to increase the sales of that console. The console is going to sell itself. Then, a year in, boom, Gran Theft Auto, only available PS5, Xbox Series X. Massive drive on sales because everybody will want to get that as much as they can. But people are still going to have their PS4 Pro. There's going to be a huge market for that for another 2 years at least, you would say.
I think you're right.
Just depends on how much they develop it.
That's true. Oh, man, it's just such a beast. I think the online isn't going to be... Look, they had issues with Red Dead Online and it's still not massively taken off. People are just still playing GTA. No. The problem is they've been adding so many extra random other things you can do on GTA 5 online that when online comes out for GTA 6, it's only going to be like GTA 5 when that first started online. They're going to have to build it again. People are going to expect it to be... People are going to prefer GTA 5 online to GTA 6 online for 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's...
Until the content's there. It's weird, isn't it? When you almost make the perfect game for so many people, how do you follow that up? Now, this is the one thing, though. If you were to say, out of any games developer in the world... who's going to do it? Rockstar are literally the one company who would go, I trust them explicitly to do it. They did it with Red Dead. Red Dead was a brilliant game. Because I thought Red Dead, the first one on PS3, loved that game. I thought that was absolutely brilliant. And I was like, I don't know if they're going to top that. And it was like...
and they've just knocked it out of the park.
They kind of did. It's going to be similar, isn't it? We're all going to be sat here in 3 years' time, and we're going to be chatting about it and go, "Oh my god! Like, can you even remember GTA 5? Like, oh god, it was awful compared to this."
You know, they've been making it though. You know,
there's rumours that they started development in 2012.
Yeah, I won't be surprised.
And they actually started doing things on it in 2015.
It's
madness.
There's 100% probably like a nearly finished version of it out there at the minute that no one's getting to play and stuff.
So currently, at the moment, I think developers are starting to get their hands on the hardware, aren't they?
Yes. Yeah. Well, that's one of the things why certain games haven't come out for PS5 yet, though, because if you look at Cyberpunk, I think they were kind of on the fence. They were like, because the problem with Cyberpunk's been in production for like 10 years, so they'd already put so much effort in that when the new tech came, they were like, we're going to keep this on this generation, not the next one. But then, I don't know, actually. It's a difficult one, that.
Because I also look at this as, we talk about the next gen. We're always thinking about what we're going to get next.
Yeah.
And I just sit here and I'm like, it's quite interesting. I listen to a lot of tech podcasts and YouTube.
Yeah.
And they're obviously mainly American. because America's a huge market for podcasts and everything like that. And I find it quite interesting that they still seem to have not cracked 4K.
Yeah.
And it's like, they've still not cracked 4K. I'm sat here and I'm like, no, I think 4K's, we've got Sky that broadcasts sports in 4K, yep. BBC do it through iPlayer. I think it's quite interesting that we're like, 8K, 120 frames. So it's like, whoa. How good is this going to look in 1080p? How good is this going to look in 4K? Like, 8K is a dream, but do you know any single human being that has an 8K TV? I don't understand how we're going to have games consoles that output at a resolution that nobody sees.
We're gonna be playing PS6s before we have 8K TVs at this rate. I know I'm not going to own an 8K TV by the time PS6 comes out.
It's quite crazy. I'm excited to see in terms of the level of detail that gets brought. Like, I think when I play in the PS4 Pro now, and I'm like, oh, this looks good, and I can understand how they can make it better, because you can still sometimes tell, you're like, oh yeah, this is a game. But there are moments where you're watching something and you're like, that looks very good.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see what they do.
Yeah. What pre-order exclusives are they going to do with the next one? And minefield.
So, balls on the line.
Yep.
Name the year. Let's make some predictions right now. Episode 14. We can come back in 100 episodes' time.
Well, they've not announced the PS5 yet. I think it's going to be May. That's normally the month they do it. And then it's the Christmas that it comes out of. What are the games they're going to announce with the PS5? Because the two big games of this year slated to be the big releases for PS5. You've got Last of Us and Cyberpunk, etc. You would have thought, oh, Last of Us is definitely going to be PS5, and it's not. It's not. So that doesn't leave many games to be the big reveal, does it? So, do I say 2020? Do I say 2020? Do I say 2020? I think I'm gonna say 2021. Because I think GTA 5 has another online add-on coming, and it'll be the final one to finish off the year. The casino one's still pretty fresh in everyone's mind, so I think 2021.
Right.
Yep.
Just for the sake of fairness and boldness.
Oh,
I'm gonna go big.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say 2022.
No, that's huge.
I think they're going to want to see what these consoles can do. And I think they're going to go big. I think they're going to have to. And from the state of how many games now get delayed from big publishers and making the right decision, I reckon they're sat there in Scotland going, do you know what? Big console this. I'm going to say 2022. Predictions on the line. Wouldn't even surprise me if they bring out Grand Theft Auto 5 on the PS5. Calling it now. They're going to do a 3-generation game.
Actually kill. Oh, don't. I think I would be actually a bit PO'd if that happened. That's not cool, man.
Can you imagine if they did that?
That's just insulting.
They're just. Do you know what? The thing is, though, technically, from a technical standpoint, they could go, these people on PCs have been making these crazy 4K rendered crazy things. So what we're going to do is a free add-on. If you had it on PS4, we're going to give you on PS5. Don't worry about it, lads.
I've got one. Guys, I've got one. Is this game going to be the first ever non-disc game? Boom. I think that's a massive shout.
Ooh,
It's going to happen on
what?
PS5.
The thing is, the one thing that I don't get still, how much storage do people think we have?
Look at
Because games keep on getting bigger.
Battlefront 2, for example. Our friend Smig didn't get it when it came out like 3+ years ago. Installs it. It's like, oh, I'm going to be waiting for a while. Because like every update, it's like 50 gig for all the patches they add on.
It's the games are getting so big, but it's like the hard drive space, like having a Pro.
I'm going to need 3 PS3s, a game for a console.
But the thing is, it's like my PlayStation, I have a terabyte hard drive and I have a terabyte in the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And my hard drive's full.
Yeah, you've got to have a hard drive now for your PlayStation because there's too many games.
There's too many games and they're too big. So
yeah,
I've been playing Gran Turismo recently. It's 100 gig.
Yep.
And I'm like, where? I'm like, why? You have like 20.
Yep.
You have 20 races.
20 races.
It's mad.
That's terrible.
That's like 5 gig a lap. You're like, oh Jesus. Unbelievable. Whereas I think, this is the thing. If Gran Theft Auto come out and they're just like, yes, it's the biggest game ever made. 5, and it's rendered in 8K. It's going to be like a terabyte. It's actually, prediction. It's going to be the first ever hard drived game. There you are, sir. Well, here's a hard drive.
I think the struggle is that any game that goes on the PS5 has got to be... Wait, no, have I got that right? Has it got to be backwards compatible? No. No, sorry, the PS5 is backwards compatible, isn't it? Not
backwards compatible.
So the
So you technically will be able to play Grand Theft Auto 5 on your PS5.
Oh my god. Yep, you're not wrong. I've got another crazy... Well, it's not a crazy prediction. I think one of the cast members, one of the big characters that you can play as, will be female.
I'm going to say that they're going to be non-binary. There's just going to be no specific gender.
I think they might do a gay character. I think they might.
Yeah, it's overdue.
Yeah, I think the world's ready for it now. Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities.
It's just the biggest game in the world.
And there's just so much that they could do with it. And I think because Grand Theft Auto, I think just because 5 has taken on a life of its own going online, where they could take it really, really, really is completely up to them as they develop the game. But they've got a lot to live up to, but I think they're going to do it.
I think we should do a forfeit for which one of us is wrong about the release year.
We have to buy the other one the game.
That is
50 quid gone in it. Got 2022.
Ben's like, oh my god, what have I done?
It's like, I'll just have to buy Sam a copy, wait for him to finish it. 5 years later.
Take forever.
It's like, can I have a copy now?
It's actually quite...
Right. I mean, we'll give it to the audience. Yeah. What you need to do, Instagrammers, tweeters.
Comment.
Put a comment in YouTube. What year? We should put that at the beginning. I'll put that at the beginning. Like, what year do you think it's coming out? Comment below.
What are your predictions? Let us know. God, I need to go to bed. After last night, just going down the rabbit hole, trying to figure out a mystery.
Well, on that bombshell then, on that monumental...
Yes.
Sam BK is about to fall asleep on Skype. I guess we can call it an end to the pod.
Yep.
It's been good to be back. I'm glad I'm not sick, which is funny because on microphones I can just hear myself sometimes going. And it's like, stop being a cold. Yeah. And we'll try and do this next week. We'll bring it back. Let us know what you want us to chat about, because clearly in an hour of research, I can come up with a podcast, and Sam has to spend 6 hours on YouTube.
Oh, damn. I'll never get them back.
I'm now going to watch all the videos that Sam watched last night.
Because we share the Mancave account, Ben just sees what I've been watching. He's like, oh, there's lots of conspiracy theory videos appearing.
I was like, where are all these? And then it was mixed in with some WWE 48-second finishers. I was like, what was he doing?
I'm trying to figure out what's going to work for the channel, bro. I'm trying to crack the code.
Crack the code. Brilliant. Well,
yeah.
Everybody, we will see you next week. Right. It's been fun. I'll press stop recording. I've been Ben.
I've been Sam BK.
Ciao bella. Adios, everybody.
See you later. Bye.